at this point, you remember last week, ang guest natin is a recording star. Now, we would like to introduce to you, although he doesn't need further introduction, yung mga behind the scenes who makes recording star a real star on music. He's a retired broadcaster who's worked as a radio and TV host and DJ, station manager and assistant vice president for big networks and top rated radio stations. In fact, he's the #1 DJ of the #1 pop station during our time in the mid-70s up to the early or late 80s. Pilipinas ngayon na would like to welcome the one and only Willy S. Inong, a.k.a. Hillbilly Willy. Welcome to the program.
Hello there. Hi, Robert, USec. Hi, good afternoon. And Lady Elyza. And good afternoon to all of your listeners and viewers. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. It's good to be here.
Yeah, yan ang boses na inaabatan at inaabangan ng mga kolehiyala before na ngayon graduate na. Alright.
Mga lola na, patrona na.
Dito, meron na mention sa akin that you're the world's only living brain donor. Is this true? Ikaw ba ang nag-donate ng brain mo?
Yeah, that's why.
Sumikat? Okay, go ahead.
Hindi, ibig sabihin lang. Actually, it was just a marketing tool. It's parang palusot ko lang yun para pagka nagkamali ako, sabihin naman niya, total, brainless naman yan eh. Brainless naman yan eh. Kaya, kasi lahat naman nag-donate ng brain, patay. Ako lang yung buhay.
Alright. Okay. Alam po ninyo mga ka-IZ at ka-PNN, nice po nating ibalik tanaw ang ating po mga days of the radio when radio was top bago nagdating ang mga SOCMED and other ITs. At I remember during one of the interview with you of no less than Congressman Ted Filon, he mentioned na ikaw ang nagbigay ng kanyang opening tape para sa programa niya when he came over to Manila as a provincial broadcaster. Pwede bang kwento mo sandali yun? Kasi nakalimutan mo na yata yun. Pero siya hindi niya malimut-limutan. Go ahead, please.
Actually, I've been a teacher by heart. Kasi natuto rin ako sa radyo eh. Wala naman nagturo sa akin. In fact, I became a DJ when I was studying to be a doctor. Pre-med. May course pang pre-med sa UP noon eh. Kaya lang nahilig ako sa radyo. But even long before that, I listened to the radio a lot by myself. And growing up, I grew up with music and radio stations. I was always mesmerized by radio stations. Sila Sonia Basa, sila Rafi Mejia. Marami sila, Eddie Mercado were DJs back then. And then, nahilig ako makinig sa mga pop stations until such time na nag-apply ako maging DJ. And then, over time, I got better at it, and I got involved with WBL and the Mellow Touch, WLL. Tapos nalipat ako sa DWKC. It was the largest radio network at the time with about 50 radio stations nationwide. And then part of my job as a training manager, a vice president, saka station manager, nagtitrain ako ng mga DJs. But then during those times, I was also invited for seminars in some universities and colleges as a resource person. And I would accept visitors sa aking radio program while I go on board. At siyempre, marami bumibisita. Some of them were students, some of them were DJs. And I also trained the DJs of our provincial radio stations. Fortunately, one of them was si Ted Filon, and I forgot all about it. Yung pala, yung pinagkwento niya, siya na nagkukwento sa akin. I asked him to sit beside me, and then I showed him what our booth was like. Kasi sinabi niya sa akin, he was a struggling DJ noon in Tacloban. And lumipat siya sa, pumunta sa Philcomsen building where DWKC was located. At pinapasok ko siya sa loob ng booth. He was a very unassuming man. He was very simple. He was humble. And he was simple enough to tell me, I'd like to know how you're doing things. Kasi nabalitaan niya ako, ang ganon, sa probinsya. Pagkatapos, I was very proud to, like everybody else, to show him around. Because at that time, our booth was the top of the line in the industry. Kami kasi nag-design nun. And our booth was like on a concert stage na nakaharap ka, yung mga tao nandoon, yung mga upuan nandiyan, tapos yung booth nasa at the opposite end of the room. Tapos sa likuran namin was Meralco Building and the skyline of Antipolo. So it was a perfect scene. So pinapasok ko siya sa loob ng booth, tapos sa tabi ko, and I showed him how I did things. Marami siyang tinatanong tungkol sa pag-DJ, pagpasok ng mga kanta, tapos anong klase yung mga equipment namin. And then, of course, I offered to give him a stinger, a jock stinger, a jock shout, tapos stingers for the radio station. And I had a sampler there, a small sampler where I could make different kinds of sound effects in front of me, inside on top of the console. At ginamitan ko lang ng cassette, and I produced some station stingers and promo IDs and jock shouts for him. And then after that, we said goodbye, and then I forgot all about it. Until that time many years later, when I found out that na hindi ko alam na siya yun, pero na-admire ko ng Pt.1 kasi nabasa ko sa mga magazines, sa mga newspapers, sa mga tabloids, tapos yung kwento niya, how he came out to Manila, and how he started with ABS-CBN, and how he started from way low, way down talaga. Tapos natutulog pa siya sa cafeteria daw. Eto, hindi pa kami nag-uusap na from that time on. Siguro more than 10 years have passed. Tapos nabalitaan ko, gano'n. So humanga ako sa kanya kasi naging congressman pa siya. Tama ka, in your intro, naging congressman siya, tapos hindi na niya tinuloy. Hindi na siya nag-congressman, tinuloy na lang niya ang pagiging broadcaster, a hard-hitting broadcast journalist at that, with ABS-CBN. So, umango ka sa kanya.
Yes, Sir Willie, that was a very inspiring story, yeah? So, meron akong follow-up question dito since you mentioned being DJ. How do you select your playlist of music that will surely endear you to your listeners, especially during your time?
Sa amin, kasi we were a pop station, it really depends on what kind of a format you have and what kind of listeners you are targeting. Siyempre, the primary means would be through requests. Either by phone, at that time puro phone yon, tapos meron pang easy call noon. Tapos of course letters.
Tama mo, wala pang mga Excel kung time pa noon. Yes.
At saka yung mga telepono noon parang plancha, di ba?
Yes.
Malalaki.
Pagkalalaki, yes. I remember those times.
That will be the primary source. Pagkatapos, you filter that through what kind of target market you're hitting. So more or less, alam mo na kung anong maganda. But of course, pinaka-importante sa lahat, you have to have a good background in music. What do I mean? Para mapili mo kung ano yung magandang kanta na papatok, kailangan alam mo yung mga dati na pumatok noon so that you can apply some songwriting or music principles or songwriting techniques na makikita mo sa mga kanta. At doon ma-incorporate mo lahat, and then you mesh it, you filter it doon sa mga through yung requests. Pati siyempre, yung mga, minsan, there are some songs that you want to break. Some songs. Si Robert, si USec, ano yan? He got involved in recording, in promotions, in marketing. He knows. Kaya mas maraming alam yan kaysa sa akin tungkol sa music. Pati,
Yes, he told me so. Anyway, having a very good ear, once you hear a song, for the first time, do you recognize if it's going to be a potential hit song?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes instantly. But sometimes you have to hear it again. And sometimes makikita mo na may ginaya tong kantang ito and may chance na to follow in those footsteps. But then, syempre, most of it goes to gut feel talaga. How that song speaks to you individually as a DJ or as a song, how do you call that? Someone who wants to break a record, or someone as a promoter, or someone as just a music lover.